when we have plants like that, when we have things that are sitting there that could be utilized, then that's going to bring what we need as far as the energy, as far as the windmill operations. So, you know, I feel that we just need to work a little bit harder on that and, you know, compromise. What can we do? What should we do? What we need to do is sit down and have that conversation.
Clarice?
It is time to create equal opportunities for all sources of energy and not overregulate any specific one. Colorado does not need to make it any more difficult for the energy sector to do business. The energy sector offers thousands of jobs, and I believe that Colorado has many opportunities in the future, and I look forward to being part of that. 2 years ago in the state legislature, we had energy issues come up, and we fought on the floor until 2:30 in the morning, fighting for what was best for Southern Colorado. And as you can see, the turnout of what has happened, everyone is seeing an increase in electric bills. And that is why being part of this process is so important, and being an informed voter makes the difference.
Lucretia?
It is important for all of us because we as individuals here know exactly what our household can handle. So, you know, it's a difficult conversation, I'll have to say. It's a very difficult conversation, but that is something that we need to talk about, because there's going to be a fine line there, and we do have to figure out how we're going to be able to maintain the prices of energy, of electricity, and, you know, those kind of things. So I'm not real familiar with that particular topic, but I must say that I will look into it a little bit more and find out some of the things that I am missing this evening to get you the answer that you need. But as far as I know, my time is up, so turn off your lights.
Clarice? You're done? Okay. Clarice, you'll answer this one next. Pueblo City Schools is facing the possibility of the state taking over some of its schools. District 70 has historically been underfunded by the state. What ideas will you take to the legislature to help our local public school systems?
Well, as you know, education is important. Our kids are our future. I do believe that local control is best. Our parents, our teachers, and our local school boards know what's best for our children. We do not need Washington, D.C. We do not need Washington, D.C. Politics coming down and telling us what we need to do in Southern Colorado for our children. They're trying to push unfunded mandates in Southern Colorado, and they don't even know if we have paved roads here. That's a problem. So I do want to be clear. I do support local control. I support the parents, and I support our local school districts to do the best for our children.
Yes.
Lucretia?
I also, too, support education. Without education, we're not going to be able to move thoroughly through the things that we need to get done. I know that I'm not sure if a lot of people are familiar with the Common Core of the schools. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. But I do also feel, too, that to be successful, we need to be able to support our teachers and our students. We need to talk a little bit more about increasing their wages. We need to talk a little bit more about our kids who are getting the special care that they need. And Clarice is right. We don't need to have Washington to come down and tell us what we need to do with our schools. I think we got that figured out. But we need to support one another. We need to support our districts, our superintendent, and we definitely need to support our teachers so that they'll be able to give our children, our grandchildren, the best education that's needed.
Clarice?
Again, I do not support unfunded mandates, and I do not support Common Core. Our teachers, our school boards, our principals, our superintendents, our teachers, and our parents know what is best for our children. We have got to get back to the fundamentals of reading, math, and writing. Our children will be successful. We don't need to continue to pour in money into a classroom and expect children to learn.
Lucretia?
I like to say also on that, just on that thought, is that we do need to get back to the basics, but we also need to keep in mind that our foreign children are far ahead of our children here today. And so therefore we have got to step up. We got to step it up a little bit more. And we got to get them prepared for what's out there, because them children are so educated that they're already doing data. They're doing all the things that our children are behind. So we just need to make sure that we prepare our children a little bit more. It starts in the home. It starts with the parents. And then we move it on to our teachers, our classrooms, and help our children to be more educated in the areas that they want to be in, so that they can be successful in life also.
Okay, Lucretia, you'll answer this one first.
Okay.
The issue of marijuana stores in parts of Pueblo County has been controversial. Do you believe that the legislature needs to take up more marijuana control measures, or do you believe current laws are sufficient?
I believe the current laws are sufficient as now. One thing I will say about the marijuana, I'm very supportive of the medical marijuana, and the reason why I am is because of the issues that occur from it. People have bad health. The doctors are prescribing this marijuana, medical marijuana, for the people who are in need. And as far as the recreational, I think that our regulations, our policies that are in place are appropriate at this time.
Okay. Clarice?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. The issue of marijuana stores in parts of Pueblo County has been controversial. Do you believe that the legislature needs to take up more marijuana control measures, or do you think the current laws are sufficient?
For the last 2 years at the state legislature, we have been working on this issue. First and foremost, we have to keep our children safe. And we have worked on that to ensure that that is our top priority. The second issue that we have with marijuana is that it's a cash-only basis, which has created more crime, and it's attracting more issues. When there's just cash, the business owners are not being able to be successful. Colorado has voted on this. It is legal in Colorado. We have many small businesses who we need to help succeed in this now that it is legal, and we need to start with the cash-only basis, and we're working with Congress and the U.S. Senate to hopefully get something passed for Colorado.
Lucretia? Any other
Okay.
thoughts on that topic?
No, thank you.
Okay. Clarice, you'll answer this question first. Do you support spending millions of dollars to improve the railroad tracks across southern Colorado to keep the Amtrak Chief train operating? And if so, how can more people be persuaded to use the service?
Well, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I grew up in Los Animas, Colorado, which is 20 miles from La Junta, where this train and Amtrak issue began. I think that we need to continue this effort and help the train be successful. However, it's going to also depend on Kansas and New Mexico to have the same commitment that Colorado has. And until that commitment with the 3 states comes together, we're going to be in the same issue that we are at now. I also believe that bringing a stop to Pueblo will help tourists come to Pueblo, see our great river walk and our great Union area that we have down on B Street. My family and I have used the railroad, and my kids absolutely enjoyed the trip, and I look forward to continuing this work.
Lucretia?
Yes, sir. I am excited that we are halfway to our goal of being able to have the Southwest Chief stop in Pueblo and La Junta. When I was a child, my grandparents, and we lived in California, and I remember going down to the Union Depot waiting for the train to stop so that my auntie and nephew would get off the train, and how excited it was to be on it. So just the sound itself, knowing that people are gathering there, watching people, waiting for people to get off, it's an awesome deal. And I like to say congratulations to Sal Pace and the commissioners for making that happen, in just putting it on your mind so that we can get that here in Pueblo again. Also, you know, it's been 12.5 million amount of money to fix the tracks. And, you know, it's a lot of money, but it will bring jobs. It will bring revenue to Pueblo again. And that's what we need, right? Yes. Thank you.
Clarice? Okay. Let's see. Lucretia, you'll answer this question first.
Okay.
Everyone supports small business growth and economic development. That's a pretty easy position to take. But what specific proposals do you have to help make that happen?
Well, the proposal that I do have is, I wrote it in the Pueblo Chieftain, if you guys remember my article. And it has to do with veterans. Fort Lyons closed, and we used the facility to help our veterans to get the need and the service that they needed. What I like to do is I like to use some of the buildings that we have here and get some renovation going and restore these buildings so that we can use the same services for our veterans here to be able to reintegrate again with their families and with the community. And so that is my proposal. That is something that I feel that Pueblo can look forward to and, you know, have the abilities to talk with the people and authorities and people who are already in those type of positions to help Pueblo to get there and to use some of those buildings so that they just don't sit there. So that is what I like to do. I like to start by helping with the veterans because they do have plans. I mean, they do have programs in place that are very, very good. But I like to just piggyback on it and promote what they have and to extend it just a little bit more.
Okay. Clarice?